I used to think that being called selfish was the worst thing in the world. It was the dirtiest word that anybody could call me. I thought that being selfish meant that I was failing as a mother, first and foremost, and a partner and a friend. But now I see it differently. If you are afraid of being labeled as selfish for prioritizing yourself, then this message is for you. I'm Steph. I am a retreat leader. I have a podcast. I'm a portrait photographer. I help women over 40 in reclaiming their power and their purpose. Let's talk about the fear of being selfish to embracing self respect. As women, especially over the age of 40, we have been raised to not be selfish, to do everything to avoid being selfish. That means making sure that the house looks good, there's food on the table, groceries have been shopped for, calendar is full, kids are happy, clean, and healthy, and that we are climbing the corporate ladder or that version of success. We are taught to smile, to be agreeable, and to have this expectation that if we just do everything right, then everything will fall into place for us. As a teen mom, I internalized this message so early that I just wanted to be the best mom I could be for my kids. And at 16, I was just trying to figure out who I was. And there was just all of this pressure to be a good mom as well. So struggling with this word of selfishness is a big one for me, and I'm sure it's a big one for you too. I think that is how I became such a people pleaser, is because I didn't want to disappoint anybody, and I didn't want anybody to think that I was selfish. I wanted everybody to think that I was just the best mom that I could be, and that translated into or transformed into being the best partner, being the best photographer, being the best podcaster, being everything. So I internalized this message early, and I really wanted to be the best mom I could be and to avoid anybody thinking that I was selfish. And as I got older, it transformed into wanting to be the best partner and then wanting to be the best massage therapist and then wanting to be the best photographer. I overfunctioned, I overgave, and slowly I disappeared into my own life and I just became a people pleaser. That became my identity, was to make sure everybody around me felt good. What happens though when we want everybody around us to be happy and feel good is that we get burnt out. And when we don't have clear boundaries with the ones we love and ourselves, then we lose that connection to self love, healing, and we turn to other things. We turn to other people for validation. We turn towards things like alcohol and food addiction, and we just numb out. The opposite of what we want happens when this occurs, is that we want everybody to be happy around us and we want to be self-sacrificing and we want to not be perceived as selfish. But what happens is when we're burnt out like that, we get to look like we're selfish. We look like we are not self-sacrificing because we're burnt out, we're tired, we're cranky, we are running on empty. So this whole spiel of what we tell ourselves that we have to give, 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 what happens is those around us lose the connection that they had to us. And that is like, that's the worst feeling, is losing that heartfelt connection, because all we want to do is take care of everybody. So how do we change that? Does this sound like you? Is this your story that you're telling yourself, that if you just keep going and you just keep making sure everybody's good, then everything will be good? But then you look around and you're like, why am I not happy? Why is my relationship suffering? Why are my kids yelling? Why am I yelling? All these things, right? It all comes from not being in true alignment, and it comes from checking boxes versus looking inward. So when I started saying no to things, when I started to look at what abandonment of self was, and I looked at all the places I was doing that, I began to make little changes. And what I thought was gonna happen when I make these changes, like, okay, now I'm going to have boundaries. Now I'm going to put myself first. And now all my relationships are gonna get better because I'm putting myself first. What happens is that the people around you that you've kind of built up in your head that they're a specific way and this is how they're gonna react, they don't react like that. It's all an internal process that you have to go through, and what the people around you interpret that as makes no difference because we are all on our own journey. We all have our own lessons to learn, and we cannot expect everybody around us to just follow suit. "Oh, okay, great. You're making great changes. I'm gonna make great changes too." Or, "You're making great changes. I'm so proud of you." We still have these fears, these little kid traumas that we want people around us to see us and to validate us. So as you're going through this process of boundary setting and self-discovery, you have to remind yourself that this is your own journey and to keep going. Because if you rely on other people to see you, to validate you, to understand what you're going through, you're gonna fail. This is your own journey. So many times I started this life of self-expression and alignment and movement and creativity only to stop because I didn't think that the people around me were gonna like me anymore. And what kept me going the final time is that eventually, because I was working this muscle of self-improvement, of self-love, of self-expression, eventually the muscle gets big enough and strong enough that I realize that, okay, I don't need everybody around me to validate me. I'm okay on my own for a while. I'm okay with whatever happens because I have this connection to myself now, and I know what makes me happy, and I know that if nobody around me wants to hang out anymore, if my whole world just falls and I don't have a business, I don't have a role, I don't have a label, I don't have money, I don't have a home, I know that there's things inside of me that make me happy that I can always start over and grow again. And that is the most powerful thing that comes out of being selfish is that you really understand yourself and the self-discovery process. And the people that are supposed to be in your life are gonna be in your life no matter what. The people that aren't, you are not responsible for either way. You can't be the bridge to every relationship that you have just to keep the relationship. You have to grow and live your life and have the expectation that the people that are gonna want to be in your life are gonna grow as well, and they're gonna wanna bridge that connects the two of you. It is not your responsibility to be building the bridges and maintaining the bridges and making sure things go back and forth on these bridges. It's too much work. It's too exhausting. And we only have one life to live. Go outside, go under the stars and see how beautiful and big this universe is and how magical it is that you are here right now. And we are not guaranteed tomorrow. So you have to make these little changes every day. It's just like working out. You start working out and you start with 5-pound weights and then you go to 10 and then you go to 15 and then you go to 20 and you are rocking it out, but you have to start somewhere. So let's change the word selfish. What if selfish means that I get to take care of myself too? I get to do the things that I need to do that make me happy too. That I am worthy of all the things that I want for the people around me. I am worthy of that too. When we start making these choices, we go from depletion to overflow. And when we get to that overflow state, we have so much more energy to give the ones that have stuck by us, that love us, that connect with us, and all the new opportunities that are coming in. I strongly have this opinion that the vibration that we have is important. And the more self love, the more joy, the more happiness we invite into our lives, the higher our vibration gets. And then whatever is meant for us at that higher vibration is going to be connected to us more. So if you want the better relationships, if you want the better house, the better business, the better contents, the better bank account, you have to get your energy higher, your vibration higher, and you have to be selfish. You have to understand that your worth is greater than those around you because you are important. In order to have this compassionate relationship with our children and our loved ones, we have to have this compassionate relationship with ourselves. And we cannot hide that any longer. So I'm done betraying myself for the comfort of others. And I hope that this message helps you also take the steps to comfort yourself, to be kind to yourself. You are allowed to matter, and let's define selfish together.